At light tonight. Penn Jillette makes jokes when he questions God and the Bible. Baseball authorities may have been wrong, but they don't threaten anybody. The candid camera videos make you laugh. It's fun to watch the crazy things some people do when instructed by an authority figure, but if you really think about it, such blind obedience to any authority is scary. Several years ago in a town in Pennsylvania, a man pretending to be a police officer raped one woman and molested others. The assaults have been well publicized. The media and local police told people, be on guard, be suspicious, don't trust someone just because he says he's a police officer. So, for a TV story, I bought a cheap mail-order police uniform and went to the town. I assumed people would question me. But they didn't. No one did. Everyone just assumed I was a real police officer. It's important to question authority, and here's the more important reason. During World War II, some Germans hated Jews. In China, some people hated those who didn't obey the rules in Mao's Little Red Book. Later in Rwanda, some Hutus hated Tutsis. There will always be some people who hate others, but what led to the murder of millions, tens of millions, was blind obedience. Genocide doesn't happen without that. It's very important to question authority. And as one last reminder of how reluctant people are to do that, I want to show you a small part of a psychology experiment conducted years ago by a Yale professor named Stanley Milgram. Have you ever heard about the Milgram experiments, any of you? Few, about a third of you have. I was a psychology major, so I studied them. They were done by other researchers, too, all over the world, and sadly the results were always similar. Milgram was trying to understand why during the Holocaust so many German soldiers were willing to obey orders and kill Jews. So he came up with an experiment. He ran this ad asking for people to participate in what he said was a study of learning and memory. 40 men volunteered. The volunteers were told to give increasingly stronger electric shocks to other volunteers if they got the answers wrong in a memory test. In truth, there were no other volunteers and no real shocks. But the men didn't know that. What they heard was a tape recording of someone pretending to be shocked with increasing sounds for each shock level. And as the voltage increased, an actor banged on the wall as if he was in terrible pain. Here's a sample. This man, like most, wanted to stop.
150 volts every shot now?
That's correct.
But then Milgram said this.
Please continue. The next word is white.
Most subjects kept going.
The answer is Horace, 450 volts.
Before conducting the experiment, Milgram asked Yale professors and students to predict how many men would keep going. Few believed that they would administer the stronger shocks, and yet they all did, and most went all the way to the maximum, 450 volts. They were upset about it. They later said they felt tortured themselves, but they still did it. What Milgram wrote in an article about his experiment titled "The Perils of Obedience" is still true today. Few people have the resources to resist authority. Well, I say it's important we get those resources. Please question authority. And that's our show for tonight. Thanks for